Is your relationship over? Does it feel like it's dying slowly? Has the communication changed? Has the energy and the effort changed? Are you far, far too distant from one another? Or are you bickering and arguing far too often? That's what you got to ask yourself about the relationship. Because, see, a lot of times the relationship is over, but we're afraid to leave. And instead of starting to work on the relationship and bring it back to life, we let it die a slow and miserable death. And you have a choice to make. Do you go ahead and accept defeat in the relationship and move on? Or do you do the work to bring the relationship back and make it work? You got to ask yourself, how much do you love your partner? Also ask yourself, how much does your partner love you? And I never want to see a relationship come to an end, especially if it has potential to work. It's different when it doesn't have potential to work. When you're in something and it's no longer protecting you, serving you, blessing you, helping you, evolving you, growing you, that's when you know it's come to an end. It's time to let it go. And there's some signs that it's over, but not every relationship shows the same signs. One thing I've learned from being a coach for the last 20 years is different personalities show up in different ways in each relationship. So, one of the ways that jumps out at me, one of the main signs is when the man or the woman, but I'm gonna speak from a male perspective, being that I'm a man, the man gets real snappy. The man is real rude, real condescending. And the reason why this happens is because the man is cheating. He's in an affair or he's been cheated on. So if you're a woman watching this and you feeling this snappiness, this rudeness, and you haven't cheated, meaning not that he doesn't think you haven't cheated, but he knows you haven't cheated. And you've never been caught cheating because you haven't cheated. Now, if you've cheated, he might know you've cheated and you don't know he knows you cheated. And that's why he's acting the way he's acting, because he don't want to bring it to the forefront because he feel like he might take your life. So instead, he's just being rude and nasty. But if you know you haven't cheated, then there's no possible way for him to know you have cheated because you haven't. So when he's being rude and nasty and snappy, the reason why I'm going to an affair is meaning if he doesn't have some type of mental health issue. If he has a mental health issue, then that doesn't apply to this. We talking about two different things. So don't apply apples to oranges. But when a man gets in an affair, when we get into an affair, what happens is we would be, and when I say affair, I'm speaking from like when I was dating, I'm just calling it an affair because it's still an affair, even though not married. But when we get in an affair, what we'll do is we'll start to compare the woman we cheating with to the woman we're with. And a lot of times the woman we're cheating with knows that we have a woman. And the woman we're cheating with will be everything that our woman isn't. And that makes us mad. It makes us resent the woman we're with because we're like, oh, why can't you do this? And why can't you do that? And why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? And we going through that. And then we could actually, a man can love the woman that he's with. Love is different than in love, but the man can love the woman he's with. And in order to justify his cheating, he has to make himself hate the woman he's with because if he sees her as perfect, if he sees her as amazing, it's hard to cheat and it's hard to justify that cheating. So understand that's where that snappiness comes in, just being rude, being short with you, and you just like, what in the world is going on? Like, why is he acting like this? And when it's not an affair, it's stress. And typically that stress is financial stress. So I've been there when I didn't know how to handle financial stress. And I would just be very short, just very out of my normal character. And my wife didn't understand it. She didn't know what was going on. She could have thought it was a affair or whatever, but then she later learned, like, oh, that's when I done spent too much money, gave away too much money, bills is tight, hard to earn money, full-time entrepreneur, and then she'll see that. But the thing about it is like I had to grow and I had to learn how to manage them highs and lows, them ebbs and flows when it comes to finances. And I stopped letting that affect me. The next thing, the challenge was us figuring out our intimacy schedule and figuring out like our highs and lows as people, like when we're tired, when we're invigorated, when we're feeling good. And it just would always be a thing to where when she feeling good, I wasn't feeling good. When I'm feeling good, she ain't feeling good. And so we had to work on that and get through that because that also will have you sexually frustrated. And it's times where the man could be sexually frustrated, times where the woman could be sexually frustrated. And it's time where you going through those different things like that to where you trying to figure it out. And what is it gonna take? What does your body need? What does your body want? And you trying to get to that place. And so it's not always a one size fits all. And then that other thing that's outside of that is like mental health, PTSD, bipolar, manic depressive, like those type of things, narcissism, those different types of diagnosis. That's when it's out of the norm, out of the scope, and you need a doctor, a clinician to be able to help you on that. But you have to be aware and mindful of the signs that'll show. And that snappiness is one of the first ones. Now, the next one is distance. When you see the man or the woman, but I'm just speaking from the male perspective, the man starts to get distant. That's when you have to look within because typically the distance will come from a type of stress, financial stress, health stress, work stress, and the man will start to get distant. Also, and remember, interchange this with woman if it's the woman, but we are slightly different, male and female, so understand that. And sometimes that distance could be needs not being met, the emotional needs not being met, feeling unseen, feeling unheard, feeling unappreciated, feeling used, drained, bogged down. And that's a very real thing. And so it can create some distance. And if you want to save the relationship, that is something you have to look into. And you got to be able to get to the root of it. My wife is very good at that. If she sees me quiet or distant, she'll come and inquire within, like, hey, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Something wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And then we get the opportunity to talk about it if it needs to be talked about. And sometimes we'll talk about it and it ain't a fun conversation. It's not something that we necessarily want to talk about or wanted to address, but it just come with the territory. But we able to address it. I'm able to get it off my chest. Same thing with her. And that helps us move forward. It helps us get back centered. And it can change the course of the relationship and get you back on track instead of spiraling out of control and you going on down that rabbit hole going the wrong way. And so the distance has to be paid attention to as well. And another situation is just mental decline. So a lot of people end up with dementia or Alzheimer's and things of that nature. So you have to be mindful and kind of ready and waiting on, not necessarily waiting on, but the mental decline. You got to be ready for that. And when it comes to the mental decline, that's when it's gonna really, that one will jump out to you in a different way. And you'll need to go to a clinician, psychologist, or something like that, psychiatrist, talk to them about your partner, signs and symptoms they're showing, things like that. See if they have any insight. They may try to do a couple session, but you want to be able to recognize stuff early. And then on the flip side of this, when you want to save the relationship because it seemed like it's over or it's dying, you have to go back. You got to go back to what you did in the beginning. So, give you an example. I was talking to my wife yesterday, and I'm thinking, like, I'm telling myself, like, hey, I want intimacy to be more than just in the bedroom. Intimacy needs to be conversation. It needs to be eye contact. It needs to be intentionality. So you have to do the little things. You got to ask your partner, your spouse questions. Hey, how are you? Hey, how was your day? Okay, you went there? Okay. How was that? How was Pilates? Was it hard today? Who was the teacher? Now, do you like that teacher or the other teacher you go to? Oh, okay. That's her Instagram. Oh, all right. I like the fact that she bringing thighs back. That she, ain't trying to be stick skinny and she okay, in her body. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I like that. So when you going again, you gonna go do something else this weekend? Okay, yeah. So just like that. See, I'm having that conversation. And that's a real conversation I had with my wife. And then while she was cooking, I was standing in there, I'm looking over her shoulder, I'm massaging her shoulders a little bit. Then I'm standing there talking to her. And I'm like, okay, I see. That ain't a whole lot of meat there. And then at taco season, okay, I see what you was talking about when I asked, could I have a burger out of that meat? It ain't a lot of meat. So what you finna make now? Uh, beef quesadilla, ground beef quesadilla. Okay. Now what you gonna put in there? All right, you got some of that. Hey, you got a little extra? Want some more of them tortillas? Cause I want to try that. Yeah. And then I only got one left. She was like, I could do it in half. I was like, yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. And okay, yeah, that looked pretty good. Now it looked like it might taste good. Can I put some jalapenos in mine? And she was like, yeah, you put some jalapeno. We got some in the kitchen. So I'm standing there now. Before it got to that point, I'm standing there talking. I'm just in there talking. And I got ready to leave. So I'm like, I'm kind of walking away and I'm like, okay, well, all right. Well, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you in a little bit or whatever. And she was like, where you going? I was like, I'm about to go to the room. I ain't want to be out here bothering you, cramping your style. She was like, you're not bothering me. So I said in my head, I say, well, hey, now I want intimacy to be more than the bedroom, but if I want my little bedroom tonight, I need to stay on out here and keep on chumming it up, keep on talking. So I stayed on out there, kept on talking. But what it said to me is like, okay, 19 years married, she in here cooking. She locked in and focused. She moving and she whipping around. She moving around. I get ready to leave to see if my presence is appreciated, to see if my presence is even needed. Because I'm like, I don't want to be cramping her style if this is like a outlet, or this like something she just want to focus, she want to lock in. If I'm like distracting her, or she feel like this is small talk and it's not what she want to do. So I was gonna leave. But then to see her say, "Where you going?" I'm like, man, okay, so she want my presence. Like she want me out here. And I stayed out there. And then guess what? Got on to the room. The boys going to bed. Here go my wife. Hey, you want to make love? So I'm like, okay. So me out there standing out there running my mouth done paid off. And the reason why I use myself and use real examples so that y'all can understand that the insight that I'm giving you is not just fake insight. It's not chat GPT insight. This is from real life too. Like my life could back this stuff up. This is from being married going on 20 years. This ain't just another talking head online. This real life. And so at 19 years in of marriage, not just being together, we're doing the same thing that you do in the first 6 months of dating. When you at the house, at the apartment, cooking dinner together, and you both in the kitchen, chumming it up, and bumping your gum, talking. We doing the same thing that 18 to 25-year-olds do. Standing there shooting the bobo, and that's what I mean. So if you want the relationship to last, relationship is dying, you got to go back. Go back to the beginning. Go back to the things, especially for the married folks. Go back to the things you used to do. Go back to when you were you was doing your thing, and you gotta press the issue. See, a lot of people don't press the issue, and you gotta press the issue. And so what I mean by that is press the issue, because if you don't, it's not gonna happen. Like if you don't press the issue, nobody pressing the issue. If you don't press the issue, it ain't gonna happen. Like you're gonna be in a situation to where it's gonna slowly die out. Cause see, sometimes you gotta do what's good for y'all, even when the other person don't want to do it. So like tonight, so I'm leaving, I'm going on a little sabbatical. So what I probably do tonight, I probably get my wife out the house, because I'm gonna be going away. I'm gonna be by myself. I probably get my wife out the house and take her to a movie, and just go on to the movie. Ooh, Lord, burnt my finger. Y'all forgive me turning on my candle, and was holding that thing the wrong way. I need to get like y'all who know how to light. I mean, it lit right on up, but things started climbing up. Got the light, two of them. Things started climbing up that. Things started climbing up that matchstick. So for my niece's birthday, we did candle making. Got all the little scents and made the candles. Was a lot of fun now. My candle got some good love. My candle. I call my candle solstice. And mine got, I think it got suede in there. Something else. Okay. Y'all forget my order. Starbucks. Uh Grande iced caramel macchiato with lavender cold foam. So that's what you got to realize, that it come to a place to where you got to do what need to be done. So like tonight, I'm going away. I might step out, and let's say I don't really feel like stepping out. So what we might do? Watch us a little movie tonight. Might watch us a little movie. And y'all forgive me. Let me text my wife about this real quick. Be right back. And be intentional. So Friday night, date night. If you want to get it back, relationship starting to decline, like don't get complacent. So it's not realistic to do something every Friday night, every Saturday night. Sometimes it's not realistic to do something every week. But so let's say Friday night will work this week, but next week it need to be Saturday morning or it need to be Sunday afternoon. And look at your budget. So budget tight. Hey, Friday night, let's go down here. Let's go down here to the lake or to the pond, whatever it is. And they got got the sidewalk around it. Let's walk around the lake. Let's go down here, Lake Hollingsworth, you know, uh, Gandy Bridge or whatever it is. And let's walk around the lake. Just let's go on a little walk. Put your leggings on. Put your, whatever. Go on us a little walk. Then after that, maybe let's go get a slice of pizza or ice cream or something like that. Sit in the car, talk, come on home. Get a paycheck. Okay, let's go to, up here the road or what have you. Capitol Grill, Morton Steakhouse. Spend us a little something, a little check, go yard bag. Out the go yard bag because that's a little check. Okay, next week let's do something out the box. Or you might take a week off, and then after that, let's go to iFly. Let's go to Top Golf. Let's go bowling, skating. Like, get out your comfort zone. Do your little something. Set something up to where now you forcing the issue. Cause see, and here's the space you got to go into. You got to go into all love, no arguing. All love, no arguing. So, an example for you. I'm getting ready to go out of town. The teenage boy in me want to ask my wife, "Hey, can you do the right thing while I'm gone? Can I trust you? Like you ain't gonna be getting in touch with nobody, is you? Can I trust you?" Now, when I ask that question, it puts an onus on my wife, and it would put her in a place of like a defense mode. And it would make her feel like, man, checking on me and like questioning me. Like it was so sexy that he was getting ready to leave town and just trust me completely, be confident, be a man. I love a man about his mental health. He going to reset, clear his mind, and just love on himself so he could come back stronger and rejuvenated to provide for this family. But here he is, he questioning me about another man. Like, when have I been about another man? What am I going to do with another man? Am I finna throw away my whole relationship, my whole family over what? I don't even like sex like that. So, like, what was the point of that question? What was the point of that insecurity? Mm, Does he have a guilty conscience? Is he having somebody meet him out there and that's why he's saying he's not going to be on his phone for 3 nights? Because why would you ask me that, knowing my personality, knowing how I am, knowing how I get down? Is somebody meeting him out there? So then that could put her on the edge, and then now she wanna look at an Apple Watch, look at an iPad, look at a computer, see what could be found. Because it's like, why is he asking these questions? What's going on now, Playboy? And so, but then on the flip side, I ain't gonna ask nothing. I'm giving her the rope. Help yourself or hang yourself. Give you the whole rope. And not gonna over explain. Not gonna say, oh, I never cheat on you. I never invite nobody out there. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be in Sedona, Arizona. I'm gonna go out there and have me a good time. Be at the pool, write my book, be at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They got a massage for me every day. That's included because I got $800 in spa credit with the package. And I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna be out there chopping it up with the waiter and the host at the desk and the staff. And they ain't gonna feel no guilt. Ain't gonna feel no guilt because you know why? You got to love you. You got to take care of you. I ain't even gonna put no elephant in the room or like, oh, I never cheat on you and all of that, because that's already a given. Like that's already known. What's understood ain't got to be explained. So see, you bring this thing back. You bring your relationship back by just going into a space of peace, going into a space of love. And then when your partner is mentally weak, you don't stoop to their level. You don't get angry with them. You don't go down. Like Michelle Obama say, when they go low, we go high. And so I notice in relationships that when you start to be positive, your spouse starts to be negative. When you're not fussing and fighting and complaining and starting stuff, your spouse start stuff because you get used to having riffs. You get used to having arguments. You get used to saying stuff and doing stuff. You get used to it. And you can't take anything personal. And that's one of the 4 agreements, I think. I ain't never read the book, but I looked at the whole thing one time. A guy said it to me. Is take nothing personal. And forgive me if I'm lying on the 4 agreements. But so that's what you got to think about. My wife, she was in the other day, taking a shower. I'm standing there. I got my hand on. I'm looking. I'm getting old. But you, what? And she look at me. She's like, "Can you do something? Like, can you just talk? Like, I'm trying to clean myself, and you just standing there looking at me like Jeffrey Dahmer." Like, she didn't say that name or whatever, but and I'm like, can you just be happy that your husband attracted to you and want you? Like, what you want me to do? Turn around? So then I turned around. I'm facing the other way. And then she was like, here you go. Oh my goodness. You're so weird. You just so extra. And so it wasn't like no real for nothing, but it just was, I should have just ignored what she was saying because I knew she just was talking because she kind of was a little timid and a little flattered that I'm looking at her like this the first time I've ever seen her body. And so I shouldn't even took it personal. Y'all forgive me. We was just telling her she wanna do a home movie and snacks or go to the actual movie theater. She said home movie with snacks. I know how she is. She loves to stay in the house, boy, because she just be tired. She get up so early, 4:30 in the morning. And so I shouldn't even responded. So I could have just said, child, please, whatever. Hey, you mine. I'm finna get my looks in. And just went on about business. Or just moved out of the way and just continued to talk. Went to the sink, brushed my teeth, washed my face, whatever it is. And that's what happens in our relationship. We take everything personal. We react to everything, and it creates and digs, and it makes a rift when it doesn't need to be. And so that's what I want you to think about. And I want you to do the work. For one, to recognize where your relationship is at. And then two, to bring it back to life if you want to bring it back to life. Don't let it die out. Start to date again. Start to do all the freaky stuff again. Start to do the spontaneous stuff again. Woo them, all them with love. Wash them with love. Win them with love. Like really, really love all over again. But hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. I'm in maybe when you seeing this, I'm on my sabbatical, no phone access. If I had a call or schedule or coaching session with you during the 30th or the 31st, please forgive me. Please forgive me and write me on August 3rd, and we'll get it rescheduled. God bless you. Keep your head up. All the important links in the description. Shout out to my supporters and donors of Tony Gaskins Family Foundation. Also to the Blessed Tribe. Thank y'all so much for being supporters over there. God bless you, and we'll talk soon. Oh, make sure y'all get on my Substack now. I'll be pumping those on out. We'll talk soon.